Is he pointing at me yet?
Yep.
Is he pointing at me?
Yep.
He's pointing at me, John?
I'm pointing.
He's pointing?
It's time.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Full Album Friday. That intro was much better than the last one that we failed to record. I am Scotty. That is Greg.
What up, y'all?
And we are joined by John Dante.
How's everybody doing tonight? Happy to be here.
All right, do you remember every word we said exactly from the last time we did this?
Nope.
Oh, no. We're going to have to do a second take.
Son of a bitch. Fucking garbage computer. Fuck you, Marco.
He's not even here.
Nope. Here's where we got it. It fucked up on us. Tonight we got a very special Full Album Friday for you. We're going to be premiering John Dante's new EP, Chicken Shit. Some nice old school outlaw country.
Old school outlaw country, roots rock and roll.
I have heard it described as a modern Conway Twitty.
That's a good break. That's a good way to look at it.
And we didn't tell Greg we were playing country.
So he's surprised. Oh, yeah, we were talking about how this is a first for
Yes,
Upside Down Studios.
It is a first across the entire 8 years we've been doing this, Greg. Yeah.
Shit longer than that, I think.
We are genre busting the studio.
Right. We played everything else, not country.
To be fair, though, most country radio doesn't even play country anymore.
No,
so.
it's all pop. It's all pop. Did you ever see that video where they took it was from 2012 to 2017, they took the #1 top country pop songs and basically mashed them all together, and it made one coherent song because it's so formulaic.
Everything was the same that much that they were able to just cut it in.
Signatures, the note structure, the riff, it all just worked. Even the lyrics. They would take a bar of lyrics from one song, a bar of lyrics from the next song, and it was like the first line of the first verse from this song. Same thing across all 7 bands.
Right.
That they did. And it worked all together. It was just, I was like, what the fuck?
To be fair, I don't know how they do that. Actually, I was there for 2 months. I didn't do a lot. I didn't get any in-studio experience in Nashville. It was all stage time. So I don't know how they accomplished making all of their songs sound exactly the same.
The key is, I'll explain it to you because I know. I got the inside information, John. They don't write their own fucking music.
Well, the songwriter teams, that's the one thing that was strange to me in Nashville. It's the way they wrote music.
Yeah.
They would get together, they'd be like, we're going to write a song. And they would sit here like we're sitting here, and then they would debate line for line what it was going to be. But there was never, which is totally different how I write songs. I usually have a melody, and that melody is going to have a chord progression that goes with it.
Yeah.
And then there'll be a hook or a chorus that'll sort of theme it out. And then you just basically fill in the blanks at that point. It's like a Mad Lib. You're like, what do you want to say about? But I remember one night, it was all night long, they were literally, I think I got home, they got in at 11, they started writing, and I fell asleep, and I got up at 6 in the morning, and they're like, all right, we just got done, we're halfway through it, we're going to have to finish it up later. I don't know, it was definitely interesting. I think I contributed 1 or 2 words, though, for sure. I'd be like, how about wet? And it rhymes with jet. How about we do it that way?
Oh, good job, John. We like it.
Yeah, we like that one. You're going to get a percentage of this song, we promise.
Here is your 0.6.
There you go. This is your percentage of the song. Go buy yourself a house.
Right. Well, it's my shirt Mastodon. I remember seeing an interview with them early on. Probably around the time, what was it? What was the album they had with Colony of Birchmen and Sleeping Giant?
Not after Leviathan.
Yeah.
We're talking early Mastodon.
Blood Mountain.
Okay.
Blood Mountain.
Yeah.
It was around that era. And they said, nobody wants to sing, so we all just write the music down, and the lyrics are kind of an afterthought. That's why they don't really make sense.
Fair enough. Stoner rock bands are like that.
Right? It was 4 guys, and nobody wants to sing, so we all just take turns singing.
I met the singer from Mastodon one time.
Which one?
The
only one who doesn't sing is the lead guitar, or is one of the guitar players. Not Brett Hines.
Brett. The one with the handlebar mustache. Not the bass player, but the other guitar player.
Brett Hines? No, the other guy. Yeah.
Yeah, not the face.
He's the only one who doesn't sing.
He used to sing on the earlier stuff, I swear. I thought he was singing when I saw him because
at one point they probably all sang.
It was at MI when I was going to music school there, and I went to use the bathroom before their set, and he was in the bathroom splashing water on his face. And I was all excited. I was like, "What's up, dude? I'm so excited to see you play!" And he just grunted at me. He was like, "Arr!" I think he was mad that he was in Mastodon and he was performing at a college campus, and they didn't give him his own backstage bathroom.
Right.
So he actually had to run into kids like me, and I was so excited though. I was really juiced because I was a big Mastodon fan at the time, and I was like, "What's up, dude? You're about to go out there and rock?" And he was like, "Arr."
He was like, "Son of a bitch."
Yeah, it was one of those
like,
moments.
Like it was a community service show.
Yeah, sort of like one of those moments. Like he was not at all excited that I was excited to see him in the bathroom. And it was, I don't know. What are you going to do, I guess? You know,
Right.
you got to say hi to people, I think.
Yeah, right.
You know,
He's
you
like,
got to
"Hey,
say
bro."
hi when you see
You gotta
him.
be respectful about it. You know, just be like, hey, glad you're playing. Have a nice
Right.
one.
He was really washing his face in that sink, though. Like, he was, like, trying to get ready. It was, like, pre-show, like,
Right.
face splash, you know,
Yeah,
right
he's-
up on there.
Got some dickhead behind him talking about, hey, bro, I love your music. Fuck off.
Pretty much. Like, they're not paying me enough for me to care right now. This is
Right.
a charity gig. And then I think the next time I saw him, they were opening up for Primus at, like, Stage AE or something huge.
Right.
And it's like, you know, it's funny though when you see a band and you're like from here, me to you to the group, and then you see them years later and you can't get within 100 feet of them because of the crowd and the barriers and everything.
Right.
Between the Buried and Me was like that. Because I saw them at the Rex Theater
Oh, God, I remember the Rex.
before.
The Rex. Actually, the Rex, that was Pittsburgh, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw my first big boy show where I was on the floor. Because my first concert I ever went to was Gizmachi right after they won Battle for Ozfest.
Okay,
And then,
nice.
Yeah, and then Shadows Fall, Lamb of God,
Nice.
Ashes of the Wake, Lamb of God, 2005, and Slipknot. And I was up in the stands at like some fucking college rec hall.
Right.
Like, and then my second show was the Rex. It was Dope and Mushroom Head right after J-Man left.
The Rex was that was probably a good show.
That was a really good show.
The Rex was a great theater.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was perfectly tapered up and it had a nice pit.
And the bar was chained off. Remember, there was a bar. It was like chained off.
You had to go
behind
out
the
of you had
venue.
to go out of the stage
Yeah.
area to get to the bar, and you couldn't come back in with booze.
So my dad took me to the show. He's like, I forget who was in town. Someone like who does Bridge of Sighs, that guitar player. Oh,
No
man,
idea.
I'm totally blanking on his name. And he's like, "Do you want to go see him?" And I was like, I'd rather go see Between the Buried and Me in Pittsburgh. So he sat at the bar, and I stage dive off the stage because it was right before Colors came out. So they were doing all that stuff from Colors with the clean vocals and the synth.
Yeah.
And no one had ever heard it before. So they do like Robo Turner, Robo Runner, and Selkies, you know, and then all this
Yeah.
new shit. And it was cool. I remember they were using, the whole band was using orange Thunderverb 200s. Both guitar players and the bass player were using those 200-watt tube orange. And it was right when they came out. That was really a good show. And then, yeah, it's like I saw them later at Stage AE again with, they were opening up for Coheed and Cambria.
Speaking of Coheed and Cambria, guess what our second album is?
What?
Coheed and Cambria.
Nice, tonight?
Yeah.
Which one?
The brand new one that just came out on the 24th.
Oh, I have not listened to that yet.
They
so I
went
hope
back
people
to
are
the
tuned in.
Armory Wars storyline. sir.
Really?
Yes.
Is it an Armory Wars prequel or is it an Armory Wars?
That I don't know. It is. What is the title here? Vaxis 2: A Window of the Waking Mind.
Nice. Yeah, I have not seen that yet, so I'm actually kind of excited.
Well, because their last album in 2018. I don't remember. But yeah, no, the one in 2018 was Vaxis Act 1. So they went back to the Armory Wars storyline with that one.
See, because I don't think I dug the. Did you hear the album before they went to the Armory Wars? They did a really mellow album.
I'm looking at all their albums right now, so let me look it up.
And that one.
Keeping Secrets of Silent Earth 3?
No, that's one of the early ones. After Year of the Black Rainbow.
After Year of the Black Rainbow. The Ascension?
After Ascension and Descension. I saw him on the Ascension and Descension.
Color
tour.
Before the Sun.
That's the last album I tuned into. And he said, I was reading an interview, and Claudio said that he had his kid at the time, and he was staying with his family. And he was like, I couldn't write any vocal parts where I used all of my voice because I either had the kid or the studio was next to people. So that whole album has a really, it's like a different, it's like their version of an acoustic album.
Right. Actually, my wife and I's song comes off that album.
Nice. Which one?
From Here to Mars.
Who's on that?
From Here to Mars.
What about it?
That song. That's my wife and I's song.
That's
Off-
your guys'.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah, that album's like, it's a very romantic, sort of mellow.
Right. Well, because,
For Cody.
yeah. Well, we all love Good Apollo on Burning Star 4.
Yes,
Because
that's the
who
one that
can't
got.
love the insanity that is that fucking album?
It's the double neck, really, for me. It made that album great because I saw them.
On the, what was it, like the, was
Welcome Home,
it- Yeah, but they did the live version of it for some
and
company.
they did the final cut.
Oh, the final cut's great.
That I saw them do.
I crush your face in the door.
Yeah, Coheed's probably a top 5, top
Well,
10
It's
rock
our
bands.
it's our generation's Rush.
Right? I mean, they're an underrated group, I think.
Yeah.
That, and I mean, if we're talking about bands that are my favorite from that era, that are coming back, the Mars Volta released a new song. And
Really?
yeah, they released a new song.
You want to know what frustrates me to no end? Doing this fucking show. I go on YouTube Music Friday mornings and I look at who released what. And so many good bands have just been doing nothing but singles for 2 years. And I'm like, give me a fucking
that's-
album. Like,
What I just got into, I was talking to you guys earlier because I was like, what do I do? Last EP was country because I was in Nashville.
yeah.
I was like, do I do a whole album of this? I was like, let me just do the EP to get it out while it's fresh, see how people like it. And then it's like I have a lot of singles that I'm thinking about releasing, but singles don't hit like albums do.
No.
People don't seem to remember them as much, and they're not as, they don't travel as far as, like, there's not as much weight behind them. So I'm like, what do I do? Artists are doing more singles. Do I jump on the train, release all this music, half a dozen songs as singles, or do I just wait, like you said, until I have a whole compilation album to drop?
Well, I mean, think about I don't remember any of the singles that I listened to from these bands that I actually enjoy that have been coming out for the last 2 years during COVID. But you know what I remember? All ICP's fucking Forgotten Freshness albums.
Right.
All those compilations.
So the Misfits are like that too. A lot of their albums are compilation works.
Yeah. The
So
shit that they got cut off the album and then they just went, we have it sitting here. Let's slap it together.
and I have a lot of covers that are licensed right now, and I don't know if I'm going to leave those up or pull them down because there's a yearly fee to license covers.
Yeah.
And I think we have a Black Sabbath cover of NIB, and Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself by I think it's Sly and the Family Stone.
I think so.
And the third cover that we put out last year, which I'm probably about to push again, is American Woman, which I put out for the 4th of July. And there's a yearly licensing fee, and I'm like, do I want to keep licensing those and leaving them released? Do I want to just make them Patreon exclusives? So that's always, when you're releasing new music, you're like, I think it's the best if you can get 10 or 12 original songs because it just lasts the longest.
Right. Maybe chuck one cover on there.
Right, but even if you have one cover on the album, you still have to license the whole. Like, you still have
Oh.
to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now, where I'm like, I could pull the albums and then replace the cover track with a B-side that didn't get released originally,
Right.
and then re-release the albums, and then be like, all right, those are no
Right.
longer licensed and available for commercial use. So that's sort of, things that we go through as artists.
I wouldn't know that, but I can tell you from a consumer standpoint that a lot of times, like I'm listening to like metal bands and I stumble across a cover, I'm like, ooh, what album is this on? And then I go to that fucking album,
Right.
So like as a consumer, that happens to me all the time. Like Machine Head's one album, they have "Hallowed Be Thy Name" by Iron Maiden, and it's my favorite cover of that song. And again, and there's I made a playlist once that was just covers of "Hallowed Be Thy Name" by Iron Maiden. It was 11 songs long,
All
and
just
it was
covers
all
that
"Hallowed
song.
Be Thy Name."
That's sort
And
of
not
what
one of them was actually Iron Maiden.
That's what I thought when I started putting them out. I was like, well, people that might not catch my original music will hear this, and then maybe they'll go down the rabbit hole.
Right.
So,
I mean, it works for me because if you pull off a cover, I'm like, what the fuck else you got? You
right,
know?
what else can this band do, and what are they doing? And live, it's that way too, because I know a lot of bands that I'm influenced by, you do a lot of cover songs.
Yeah.
So like in my mind, it makes sense to have 3 or 4 cover songs at least in a set.
Right.
Sort of from the jam band tradition. And then some people I know will be like, oh, you did, 3 or 4 cover songs out of 10 or 12 songs of your cover band. And you're like, well, no.
No, if I played one original song in a half an hour, then I'd be a cover band.
Right, so...
I'm paying tribute to these good songs.
And I think...
And because it hypes the crowd up. Because
Exactly.
it's something they know.
Because we did, when we were at the Wickyards with you guys, shout out to our last show in
Whoop.
Youngstown. We had a really good turnout there, and thanks to all the bands that showed up.
Everybody left happy.
Yeah, because we had Scholar's Bane, and we had... Who were the other 2 groups? The Black Fist of
The Apocalyptic Fist of the Black Death, and what was that last band, Greg?
Zero Sum.
Zero Sum. So we all got together, and we had a good crowd, and we did NIB that night for the Halloween show.
Yeah.
And it was dropping. That really brings them in. We had a totally different set list planned. I didn't play the set list that I practiced. I think it's because the vocals were a little different. We had some vocal effects, and we were going to do like a spookier set, but it kind of ended up being a heavier warm-up set. Because I think I didn't realize till I got off stage. I was like, we didn't do any of the songs we planned for Halloween. Like, we were going to do a Sabbath song. We were going to do Funky Frankenstein and Monster in My Room. And I totally forgot that medley of songs. Kind of went off on a tangent.
It happens from time to time. It happens from time to
Yeah, writing a set list is overrated.
Right. So you ready to listen to this EP?
Yeah.
Chicken Shit Country, everybody, written in Nashville, Tennessee. I bought new gear for this, actually.
Really?
I'm going to shout out
I do have to ask you. Shout out first.
to Maestro Electronics. The Gibson outlet is down there in Nashville. I actually bought the first Maestro fuzz pedal that they ever sold from the outlet. It was the release day it came out. They're like, oh, we have this brand new fuzz pedal. I plugged into it. I thought it was awesome. And I was like, have you sold any of these yet? And they're like, no. And I'm like, would I really be the first one to buy one? And they're like, yeah, you get the first one. So I bought that fuzz pedal, and that's all over the record. And I got an Epiphone J45 acoustic and a Telecaster, like the cheapest Telecaster I could find.
Nice.
I played a 52, which is an expensive Telecaster, and someone let me take a 52 on stage and play a couple songs, and I sort of modified the Squire to feel as much like that one as possible.
Nice.
And so the new record's got like all my new techniques, all my new gear, and all my new inspiration sort of wrapped up into one 13-minute package.
13 minutes and 12 seconds, sir. But I have to ask, as soon as I find the track listing for said album, for said EP, because I don't remember the name of the song, on No Regrets,
Yes.
what guitar were you playing?
I'm playing the Epiphone acoustic. It's a J45 acoustic, and then for lead, I'm actually using it's like a J Tercer electric dobro.
Now, what is that?
It's like a slide guitar.
Okay.
So yeah, dobro's got like
Because I had to ask, because I'm sitting there listening to it going, I've only ever seen him play like Strats, the V, the acoustic. That's a fucking steel lap guitar.
Yeah, it's a slide guitar, and it's not a lap. Like, you don't lay it on your lap. You just hold it like a normal guitar.
Okay.
And I've got 5 strings on it.
Ah.
And, yeah, it's got like a resonator speaker cap in it with a microphone, so it sort of gets that twangly.
Twang like a steel lap guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, I have to ask, because if he just sat down with a steel lap guitar and made that, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, I do play a lot of slide, and I don't get a lot of chance to drop it. So, yeah, that song has actually got an old instrument on it, an old J Tercer slide dobro.
That's fucking great. That's great. You ready, Greggy?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Hit the button. Here you go, everybody. Chicken shit. Clear. Clear.
Driving around the country in my beat-up truck, just looking for some love and a little bit of luck. Taking on all of the lows and highs, hanging in there, trying to get by. Feels like nobody's on my team, trying to make it on my own in the neon dream. Running and a gun and give it all you got, it's a long shot. We can sing it high, and we can sing it low. We can sing it high, and we can sing it low. Gonna keep on trucking, gonna be a star. See my name in lights on a honky-tonk bar. 5-piece band, gonna travel in style. Turn it up loud, drive the folks wild. People all around gonna know my name. Come see the show, be glad you came. Rock it and a roll it, give it all you got. It's a long shot. We can sing it high, and we can sing it low. We can sing it high, and we can sing it low. Get low now. We can sing it high, and we can sing it low. We can sing it high, and we can sing it low. Yes, I'm gonna head out down that road, still looking for some love and a heart of Saving up for that pink Cadillac car. Get my name in the fretboard of a Martin guitar. Just a country boy and I wanna get loud on the radio. Make my mama proud. Rambling and gambling, give it all you've got. It's a long shot. One more chance, give it all you've got. It's a long shot. It was in '08, I was living in L.A. Walking down Hollywood Boulevard looking for a place to stay. I found a couch to crash and a friend that had a stash. Me and Lucas, we smoked cigarettes, dancing all night long. Then there was the time I was driving through Anaheim in a red Ford pickup truck with Texas plates that wasn't mine. Mighty shotgun, Dirty Dan said there's a warrant in my name. So try to keep your driving between the lines. All these stories make me think about the time we used to drink. Line 'em up and knock 'em down 2 at a time. Yeah, they'll say rock and roll won't do no good for your soul. But I tell you, buddy, it's done all right for mine. One more time now. I ain't got no woman to leave me. If I died, no one would grieve me. I'm a drifter out here making it on my own. I never called my mother. I never took no lover. I'm a son of a bitch and my heart is made of stone. Well, me and my sister, we got into a spat. I yelled at my pa. Kicked the cat, packed my bags, said goodbye, mama, and that was that. Got into my car just as fast as could be, headed down to Nashville, Tennessee, layover on the river in Cincinnati. Well, I checked into the Maxwell house, figured I might as well go downtown, passing out CDs and looking for a place to play. Couple t-shirts and an old guitar. Don't think anybody thought I'd make it this far, but I'm still playing down in Nashville to this day. I ain't got no woman to leave me. If I died, no one would grieve me. I'm a drifter out here making it on my own. I never called my mother. I never took no lover. I'm a son of a bitch and my heart is made of stone. Head on down that road, I ain't worried about no load. Going where the wind is blowing. I've won and lost some bets, but I ain't got no regrets. Tell me, why do I still feel alone? Lord, why do I feel so alone? Well, I got me a place, now it's full of gear. Play out about 250 times a year. People are hooting and hollering and drinking up all of the beer. And if I got no place to stay, got me a couple friends from New York to LA. They would be happy to see me, or so I hear. I still ain't got no woman to leave me. If I died, no one would grieve me. I'm a drifter out here making it on my own. I still ain't called my mother. I still ain't found that lover. I'm a son of a bitch and my heart is made of stone. Yes, I'll be on my way, searching for that brighter day. Sometimes not knowing where I'm going. I've been so many places, seen so many friendly faces. Tell me, why do I still feel alone? Lord, why do I feel so alone? Tell me, why do I still feel alone? Lord, when will I not be alone? I called up an old friend so we could talk again, not knowing what to say. These words came anyway. It's been a year or two since the last time I seen you. Got a couple of new tattoos, yeah, maybe a new bad habit or two. The folks, yeah, they're doing fine. Daddy's still towing the line, probably out back smoking cigarettes. Mama's working her fingers to the bone behind a desk. It's been 6 months or so since little sister gone. She got on that plane, don't know when she'll be back again. And I've whiled away the hours, lived in ivory towers when life was at its worst. Music is my church. I hate life full throttle, sing the bottom of the bottle. Played so hard it hurt. Yeah, music is my church. Another day, another dive. What a time to be alive. When living the dream ain't all it was cracked up to be. I roamed and I rambled, played and I gambled, all around this great land we call the USA. Now I'm staring out my back door like 1,000 times before, just not knowing anymore. Yeah, sometimes when the rain she pours, but I'll wake up every day, just can't wait to play, 'cause this guitar's how I pray. And I while away the hours, living its worst. Music is my church. I've loved and I've lost, been picked up and I've been tossed, played so hard it hurts. Yeah, music is my church. Music is my church. Yeah,
That was John Dante and the Inferno with Chicken Shit.
Chicken Shit Country EP, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
We hope you liked it.
Yeah, that one, I think that's got some of my best production work on it. I really think that album turned out good. I think
really
it hit the
did.
mark.
From an audio quality standpoint, it's fucking great.
Yeah, I did it right this time, which is why I did an EP and decided to work within a style. Is because we're recording analog now, so I don't have to worry about redigitizing the tracks to match each other.
Yeah.
So I recorded all the stuff, and I was actually when I came home, the drum machine that I was using had samples that were recorded by Nashville musicians.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, all right, so we got the whole Nashville package in here. And I borrowed some gear and got some new gear. I'm using like a Telefunken U47 clone for the vocals by Warm Audio. And then I have a blue baby bottle microphone, which worked really good. It's the blue bottle mic. So the vocals were good. I had like a BBE Sonic Maximizer and a lot of compression. And after I recorded everything, I actually treated it this time, where I took the tracks and I compressed them and I EQ'd them and I mixed them and on the computer, and then I took them all off the computer and reloaded them into the analog board again so that I could live mix it into the track, which is called analog summing. So it's actually like you were saying earlier, you're like, if you do get a chance to listen to it with headphones, everything's really clear and separated.
That's when I first turned it on, which is the big, over-the-ear, loud as shit, over 100 decibel fucking banger headphones.
Yeah, because it's all really, really well compressed studio-wise, and there's all the Fender reverb and chorus and, like drippy Nashville compression in there. And the cool guitars, like you said, we got the slide guitar,
right,
the dobro, and we got the acoustic, which is different for people that are fans of mine, hearing stuff like that on the record, and the Telecaster, which is tearing it up, and the SG at the very end on Music Is My Church, which is just a hot tone. I think that's just, it came together really well.
Really
so I
good.
hope people like it. I hope people are digging it.
I dig it.
Yeah, it was a fun adventure being in Nashville, because I went down there in January, and I got a room, and I didn't know what to do, so I was passing out these CDs I had. I don't know if you got the promo CDs, but they got my phone number on them, and they had like 4 songs. And I heard about an audition that was happening through the CDs that I put out, so I was like, all right, I'm going to do this audition. And the night before the audition, I got so sick. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I caught COVID from like kissing girls in the honky tonks and like singing on random microphones, dude, or if I was nervous. But I got snowed in Nashville. Like
It could have just been some bad food.
something happened that was weird. It was the black mold in the old hotel, or like what, dude? But we got snowed in for a weekend because there was like 3 inches of snow, and Nashville shut down, so nothing was open, and all the shelves were empty. So I'm like snowed in Nashville. I got this audition coming up, and I was so sick. I swear, it felt like I was going through withdrawals, and I kept having these weird dreams that the ghost of Johnny Cash was sitting on the edge of my hotel bed telling me that I couldn't fuck up the lyrics to his song for the audition. Dude, it was so rough. I go out the next day, dude, I'm like, oh my God, dude, I thought I was going to die for like 48 hours, man. It was like I was just like kind of having these weird like nervous fever dreams.
The Shining is real. The Shining is real.
The audition went well. I have videos of the audition process. There was a whole Nashville band, and you get up there with a 5-piece band. You call out songs to the group, and I nailed that, and I sent him a bunch of messages. I went to a couple meetings, and my phone went dead for almost a month. I didn't know what was happening, so I drove back home, and I'm sitting here in Ohio, like, what am I going to do with my life? I get a phone call, like, hey, can you be on stage on Monday? And I was like, Monday? Like, I'm in Ohio. Like, we got to work this out. So I found a place to stay. I was crashing with some friends. And it was an interesting scene, man. Nashville's, a lot of people are moving in there. They're like, the old adage is you get 100 people a day trying to make it down here.
Yeah.
So I was on stage every day. I was living at friends' houses. I was living in this motel called the Drake that Elvis used to stay at. And I actually got the Elvis room for a week. It was like, supposedly there's guard towers there. I used to land his helicopter there in the 60s.
Oh, shit.
And now it's like the cheapest flop you can get your hands on, dude. I saw dudes come in with like off the street with their duffel bag, like, and get a room. It was like one of those spots.
Oh, yeah.
So the first week wasn't bad. I was like, this is pretty nice. The second week, I needed to get another room. And the one room, it smelled like bleach. I was like, I don't want this one. So they're like, you can have this other one. It's a smoking room. And there was toilet paper stuffed into the peephole so that you couldn't. And who blocks the peephole in a hotel room?
Right.
Tweakers, I think.
Yeah, probably.
So I was like, all right, I see what's going. But it was actually it was one of like the safest and nicest locations I stayed in Nashville.
Oh, jeez.
The first spot, when I took pictures for the cover of the EP, I was staying at a Motel 8, and I booked it on my way into town, and I didn't know till I got there that it was like the worst part of town.
Oh, God.
Like there was actually bars on the window when you paid for the room.
I've been there.
Yeah,
I've been
and
to
there's like $100 cash deposit to get in for the weekend, plus your money. So you give them a high. So I'm like, all right.
We went, not to interrupt you, but sidebar to my wonderful hotel story. My wife and I, a couple years back, took a fishing trip. We just drove around Ohio and just for like a weekend and just posted up and fished at certain spots. We ended up down by Columbus, and it was like the fucking, like the nice, castle suites or whatever, or this one that didn't have a name, but there was a lot of semis parked outside and like a pickup truck and a Harley.
That's probably not a good sign.
And I went, I can dig it. And it was just me and her. It was the kids. It was, yeah, we're going to the castle.
But you're like, well, we'll make the swing this work.
Yeah, the nights.
How was it? Was it a fresh room?
Dude, the nice Middle Eastern people who own the place were behind the counter. They had bars on the thing. And they just went, okay, it's $60. You could, and then I'm like, all right, is it smoking? And they just went, here. And we got regular keys, like just like your regular old house keys. We walked down to the room, opened the door up, and I'm like, it's clean, doesn't smell.
That's good.
Ashtray next to the TV, ashtray on the nightstand, ashtray on the table by the window, and I'm like, I'm fucking smoking in here.
Room for sure.
Yeah. We walked across the street to the gas station and got beer and a pizza, a shitty pizza, and walked back, just watching the hookers go between the fucking trucks in the parking lot.
See, they keep it clean. They were doing all right. At least there wasn't any unidentified stains.
Right. No,
That's the one.
Yeah, it was a clean. Well, when we left it.
Sometimes you go into some rooms. There was a couple, and I was like, "What is this stain? And why is it on the pillowcase?" I'm gonna hope that's lipstick.
Right.
I'm gonna hope that's ramen noodles, and we're just gonna go ahead and sleep up. We're not even sleeping on the covers tonight. We're just. So it was an adventure. I met Jimmy Fallon down there.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah, there was a little viral video. It was like 10 o'clock in the morning. We had our set, and he was there with the Grateful Dead cover band the night before. And he showed up. He was kicking it, and we got him up on stage to do a couple songs with us. And he did Roadhouse Blues with us, which was a lot of fun. And we did 3 or 4 songs. We did like Boot Scoot Boogie and an old Hank Williams tune with him.
Nice.
And like Little Red Rooster. He was going off. He had his sunglasses on. I think he was drinking pretty good.
Right.
I don't know if he remembers it. But.
I remember you putting up the video, like the long version, and then I remember the viral clip that was going around like a week later.
Yeah, the clip went pretty viral, and then I have a whole long version of us doing the Doors cover on my Patreon, which is like a whole 5-minute version of us rocking out. And then after that, he tipped the band really well. We got great tips. The crowd went from like 10, 15 people in a bar at 11 o'clock to like 300 people in a bar at 11 o'clock. And then I took all that money and got another cheap hotel room and like a big Baconator or something like that, dude. It was like, all right, we got another day. So I made it for a while. My car ended up needing some work. I needed to get back here to Greg to get you guys do my tune-up. And man, I was like going through downtown Nashville on like 3 cylinders, dude.
Jesus.
My buddy has a band. I'll give him a shout out. They're called Karma Vulture. They're pretty cool. Check them out. They were in LA. They moved to Nashville. They were doing shows down there, and they released an EP on cassette. which
Oh,
was pretty
Jesus.
badass. So I went to the EP release party. So I'm blasting this like independent stoner rock cassette in my 3-cylinder, like going down like one of the most expensive strips, probably. You know, just like gaggada, gaggada, gaggada. And I ran it for a while. And I was staying in a house that Jesse James used to live at. It was like this old homestead that was out in Tennessee by the crossroads where Jesse James had gotten into a gunfight. And it was some cowboy shit. There's no heat, and it got cold and wild. And I was just like, "This is a lot of fun. This is adventure." And
this is real adventure. Nobody knows where the fuck I am, and I might die tonight.
You know what I mean? That's what happens when you're like, I'm gonna do some cowboy shit. I'm gonna hit the road with an acoustic guitar and a couple t-shirts. I'm gonna say, let's see what happens.
You wake up one morning going, "Where the fuck am I at? Hey, there's my car."
Pretty much, And I was like, you know what? The thing that brought me back was really I had my studio here. And the Inferno is here, and it was like I wanted to record really bad. We had shows booked, but it was like, you know what, I've been out for a while, and I'm not going to relocate to Tennessee, so I might as well, write about my experience and get it out there and sort of share, that period of my life. So it was a lot of fun, and I think it's definitely an interesting time to be like, you know what, I'm not inspired. I'm going to go hit the road for 3 months, and I'm going to see what comes of it. And get like a new sound and some new gear and some new stories from the road.
Right.
It's definitely
musical,
an adventure.
Quality.
There's music 24/7 down there, and I had to buy earplugs. I was going through professional grade earplugs because it was just 3 stages of bar, 12 bars on the strip, and then just rehearsal and songwriting all night.
Sad part is that I'm actually supposed to be on my way there right now.
Are you going down or what's happening?
I had situations here. I had to stay. I couldn't go.
It's worth it when you can get down there. It's definitely a party town. It's like Las Vegas for music.
Right.
I would ended up buying a pair of blue light blocking sunglasses and some really nice professional grade earplugs so I could go in and out of the loud neon bars for like 9 hours without getting like a honky tonk fever, bro. Like everyone was sick. Everyone just had like that yellow like cough. You'd go sing for 8 hours and drink and hang out and meet people. And I called it the honky tonk fever, bro, because you would just be like,
by the time the sun came back up, you sounded like Marge from the diner and smoked 3 packs a day since she was 12. Just, how we doing, everybody?
Because they were like 3 or 4 hour shifts, and you'd be on stage the whole time in front of the audience, and you'd have to take requests.
Oh shit!
So it was
you had to know your shit.
You had to know your shit, and you had to know if you didn't know your shit, you had to know it anyways. You know what I mean? So it was like
you couldn't just be like, I don't fucking know that one. Like,
yeah, that wasn't really an option, especially when you're trying to make money doing it. So it was definitely an adventure, and I was pretty much on call 7 days a week, so I'd make some cash because I wanted to work as much as possible and do as much performing as I could and songwriting, and I'd make some cash, check into a hotel room, and then just wait. Sometimes it'd be like you're on stage tomorrow, and sometimes you'd wait 3 or 4 days to get a phone call, try and join a band. And I definitely looked into joining some bands. I had some friends come out and audition, and Nashville's an interesting town. It's one of the toughest towns in the world to make anything happen in.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I was pretty bummed because I didn't know what I was going to do next. I was back in Ohio, and it was like that in between. I think I was just laying in bed in the middle of the afternoon, like, I was just like in Nashville 2 weeks ago, and all the chicks and booze and party, and all the celebrities that I met, and guitars, man, $1 million Les Pauls and shit. And I got a phone call, and they're like, hey, this is the Nashville Voyager. We want to do a story on your story. And I was like, wow, that's... okay, cool.
I read that.
Yeah, so that, I don't know exactly how that came about. I went to a couple industry events while I was down there and passed out some cards. And I had some mutual friends. This girl, Megan Palmer, used to play fiddle in a Columbus-based jam band called the Spike Drivers. And they did a lot of stuff. She was just at ComFest up here in town. And my buddy, who's a vendor, Carl, hooked me up with her. And we, got invited to some industry events. So it might have been through that they heard about me. But I was already back in Ohio. I was like, well, what do I do? They're going to write a story about my story. And that was the point where I was like, well, I might as well finish this EP, so that I have something to do. So it's really interesting.
Like, all this led to this. There's the story for you.
And so it's like in the entertainment industry, it's like you go down. I was living in a hotel for 3 or 4 weeks. The first time I tried, and then I got my first call back, and I went down for another, I think, 2 or 3 weeks, came back and did a show. Went back again for another month, and then I'm like sitting around like, well, was that even worth it? A week or two later, you get some press, and then you're like, it keeps motivating you, and you're like, all right, I'll drop an EP, and you never really know where things are going to go, but you always have those moments where you put all the work into it and you have the adventure and then it's over and you're like, it's the in-between time.
Right.
It's like they never show the part of The Hobbit where, like, Bilbo's, like...
Just walking for 9 years.
He's, like, waiting for Gandalf to show up with more smoke because he hasn't been there since the last story. He's like, man, I don't know. It's, the
Right.
Shire's all dry. Like, they drank all their beer, like, picking his, like, feet hair or whatever. They don't talk about that part. It's just the adventure. So
Right. They don't talk about the 200 miles they just walked over where nothing chased them.
Nothing chased you at all, right? You just walked for
you guys
200
just,
miles.
Yeah.
Those parts of the story aren't really exciting. People don't want to hear those parts. They're like, what happened? What broke down?
Yeah.
What snapped? I broke down. That's what happened. Because I remember there was a couple times, like, I walked to the Gibson outlet because I was trying to set up my guitar. I think I dropped it off the stand once, and it was just getting beat up in the honky-tonks. And they were like, why don't you leave it for a service call? And I was like, 'cause I have to be on stage tomorrow. I don't have time or money for a service call. Can I just buy do you guys sell any of the stuff to fix it? And they didn't. They sent me to... AutoZone. They're like, this is the size Allen key. They told me the size tools I needed. They're like, but we can't give them to you unless you do a service call. And so I was running around Nashville trying to find a Walmart that was open at like midnight so I could set up my guitar and be back on stage the next day. And it was weird because I remember I was hanging out in Nashville. Everything's really expensive. It's all like outlets, and so I was like, all right, I have to go to a part of town with like a Target or something, like a Taco Bell, like somewhere where I can get in and out and I don't have to like deal with being in like the strip mall.
Yeah.
And I went out and I went to a couple of Walmarts, and it was interesting because a lot of people were speaking Spanish in the Walmart and nobody was speaking English. And it was one of those like late night adventures where you don't realize at first, you're in line, and then after a while you're like, wait a minute, is everyone speaking it? So, you know what I mean? You don't really get those experiences in cities around here.
No.
Where you go to a part of town and you're like, all right, well, okay, I guess this is the part of town that's bilingual. I didn't know that before I came to this Walmart. So, you always sort of end up in, like,
Weird adventures.
Yeah, road positions where you're like, you know what, you just don't see this.
I remember back in 2005, I was trying to move down to Miami. And I remember going to McDonald's, and the McDonald's around the corner from my dad's place where I was staying. The kid behind the counter barely spoke English. Now, granted, we're in Miami, Florida. It's kind of expected from time to time. But to order McDonald's, I'd have to go, número uno largo, por favor. He'd go, oh, sí. He'd start rapping, like, mi español es mal.
Un poco, un poco español. I'm from up north.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really...
He just go, sí, número uno largo. Sí, and he'd do it all up, and I'd get, like, a bag full of fries. Like I'd have the thing in there with the fries, with the burger, and then the rest of the bag would be full of fries, because the kid was just like, I got you.
The only thing that makes me think of is that episode of South Park where they're like, chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
No, I don't want a chicken sandwich.
Goddamn goo back.
You
We're getting back in the pile. You like
know
that? Huh? You like that?
I'm pretty sure that they opened up CERN, and they're opening up CERN again. Did you hear about that?
Maybe we'll go back to regular.
They're doing it this weekend, I think on the 4th through the 7th. They're reopening the CERN machine.
Oh.
So they might actually rechange the future again.
I don't want to jinx it, so I
Fair
won't
enough.
say it.
Fair enough.
But everybody knows what I'm thinking right now.
I don't know what you... I haven't been to the conspiracy land in a minute.
I go there just as good as Marco.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting things being on the road. I like, having those adventures where you just run into stuff. You don't see that around here in Warren, Ohio.
No.
This is like, Warren, Ohio is, if you've never been to Warren, Ohio, don't come.
Warren's that way. This is Girard, sir.
Well, I didn't want to call you out. See, no, we're in Girard. We're not really in
Oh,
Warren.
fuck. It's on all of our shit.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to give away the secret studio location. Is your address
Matter of
available?
fact, I think if you Google Upside Down Studios,
Yeah.
I think it'll bring you right here. Like, I might
Yeah.
have to check into that.
Oh, nice. It brings you right to the house.
Nobody gives a fuck about us, Greg.
Right
Well,
to the
right
studio
now,
house.
It ain't my house.
I'm gonna put your address in.
Dude, that's fine.
Getting doxxed.
We're gonna get all kind of fucking publicity when I shoot a motherfucker. Okay. Local podcaster shoots fan in face after fan breaks into backyard.
Do you think anybody's going to break
Yeah,
into
be
your
on there
backyard?
live camera. I told you he was fucking stupid.
I told him to stay off my lawn.
Right.
See, you listen to one country album and everyone becomes a right-wing gun nut.
You know what?
That's what happens. That's why.
You know what, John? I'm taking it back. I don't like your album. There's not enough losing the dog and the truck breaking down and the wife leaving.
There's not a single line about losing your dog. I don't have a dog. I don't even have a dog to run away.
You talked about a crappy pickup truck.
I did talk about a crap.
You never took a lover, so there's no
so
woman.
there's no way. I kicked my cat.
Yeah, you kicked the cat.
It's an extra sad country album because I didn't even start the album with a dog and a wife. That's the whole point. It's like I started.
You start with a happy song and then you end with the misery.
That's my gospel song though. That's you can blame Kentucky for that.
What the fuck was that?
Did we lose power? Are we still broadcasting?
We're still going. Something just
Yeah.
clicked off. Oh, probably the fan.
Yeah, you can blame Kentucky for the gospel song because I was driving through there and there's the Bourbon Highway
Yeah.
and they want you to stop on every exit and I can't stop on every exit. I can't stop at the Jack Daniels exit and also the Maker's Mark's exit and also I'll never get out of Kentucky.
Yeah, right.
Kentucky's
Game's done.
weird. You don't want to stop there anyways.
Ding, 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 ding. I don't know. My dad's side of the family from Alabama, so
So that's even further down.
yeah.
Nice.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's where they filmed the Squidbillies.
Probably.
I met Unknown Hinson in Columbus. He was doing a show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was a fun show. When he's the voice of Early Kyler,
Oh,
and he has his country
He's-
rock
that's-
act, Unknown Hinson.
that's the guy who did Invader Zim, right?
No.
Johan Vasquez.
Yeah, I don't think we're not talking about the same. The guitar player and
No,
the
we're not
voice
talking
of
about the
Early
same thing at
Kyler.
all.
Not the same guy at all.
No.
And he quit doing music a while back. Actually, do you remember when the pandemic hit, and then someone got mad and they shot someone because they asked them to wear a mask at a grocery store?
Which time?
The first time that happened.
It's sad that we have to say that.
And he was like, the world's a crazy place and I'm not doing music and I'm going to run for office. Stuart Daniel Baker. Yeah, that was an influence on doing country music because he dresses like a vampire and sings country songs.
That's fucking wonderful.
And he was also the Squidbillies. Yeah, that's like, I'm like, it makes sense. This country music is funny.
Right.
That's why I call the album Chicken Shit and not like pure country.
Yeah.
100 proof country. I went through a bunch of names, dude. I was like, what am I going to do with the name of this album?
Like his list is chicken shit. There it is.
That's what I had it titled as. That was the working title.
Was chicken shit?
Yeah, and when I was recording all the songs, I had a folder that said Chicken Shit. I kept loading up the songs into it, and I was like, I can't just call it Chicken Shit like that. I gotta like come up with like a cool name for it. And like Pure Country is a movie with George Strait in it, and I was like, no, I can't do that. And I was like, I'm gonna like do like 80 proof country. That it just didn't feel right.
Right. Just like, oh, it's only 80 proof, huh?
Yeah, and there was like 100 proof country, and I was like, well, that's just get sloppy.
Yeah. Right.
You know, I was like, that's just a lot. You know, it's like catching shit on fire. So I was like, chicken shit. Chicken shit country.
Chicken shit catches on fire too.
Yeah,
If
and
you
then
get a big enough pile of it, it gets hot enough out.
I sent it back to Nashville to a bunch of people that I've been working with down there, and I haven't heard back from any of them yet. So I don't know if they loved it, if they were intimidated by its countryness. or if
It's
they-
like, he's progressed too quickly. We can't let this come out. down
They're
here.
like, yeah, I don't know what happened. If they're like, we're not going to let you sit on the council, but you have attained the rank of master. Like, God damn it! No, come on, get back to me. Because
He's already made it. Fuck him. Like,
kind of, you know what I mean? Because like a lot of people down there, what I found out is they want you to need to pay for every step of the process.
yeah.
From
You gotta
like
pay your dues. quote
writing the
unquote.
song and having people be a part of it to like hiring people to play it and record it. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I can do most of this.
Right? It's
So-
like, I can do 90% of this myself. Why the fuck am I going to hire people?
Who knows though? They might get bored down there in Nashville when the summertime's over and be like, "What happened to that guy and his album?" And so I might.
You get a call in fucking November.
You know what? That's what everyone's probably gonna call in November and be like, "Are you still doing music stuff?" So keep your eyes peeled. I was gonna go on tour with a country artist, but it was not a good deal at all. I like went through it, and he seemed pretty legit. So they're like, located in Nashville, need someone to tour. We got a band house and a tour bus, come party. And I went through some negotiations, and I'm not going to be on the road with that project. So what do you do?
Stay home.
Pretty much, yeah. It seemed interesting, I was like, how's this going to work? And then someone suggested, like, picking up Uber shifts in between gigs. And I was like, but I'm not going to have a car if I want the tour bus. Doesn't make any sense. Our country dudes are loaded, man. We can't do this. So we'll see. I never emailed him back, but I don't think he's going to tune in. He probably knows. The last post I saw, the band was looking for a drummer also. And when the band starts making posts like, does anybody play drums and want a tour? That's,
Yeah, it's not a good sign.
It's not like, that's not necessarily. I met a couple other people. I met one artist, her name's Jamie Wyatt, and she's on the opening for the Dropkick Murphys acoustic tour.
Oh, shit.
That's what I said. I was like, yeah, that's a great billing. How'd you get on that show?
Sucked a lot of dick.
No, she's the queer queen of country outlaws. So
Ate a lot of pussy. Please don't beat me up, lady.
if you could make it to the top that way, we'd be there, guys.
Right.
You know that we'd be on top.
Like the number
gentlemen.
one list would be fucking Full Album Fridays and Joe Rogan.
That's all you needed to do.
Ready to be tied for number one if eating pussy got you to the
Right.
top.
I mean, Joe Rogan eats liver. He's all the way in there. He goes all the way up. He's eating liver, bro. He's like, let's get him on our podcast. Have you called him? Is he coming into our podcast? Is Joe Rogan coming in? He's semi-controversial.
That would be fucking amazing.
He's white and straight enough to be offensive nowadays. That's punk rock.
They
in
tried
any
to
form.
cancel it.
They did.
It did work.
They've done it, and I'm 50-50. Like, they had one guy in Nashville, I think it was Morgan Wallen. Did you hear his story? He was hammered, bro. I'm going to bring this up because they canceled him. He was hammered, and he was N-bombing his friend real hard for no good reason, like across the street. Like, get him in the house. Like, they were all white dudes. He was just N-bombing. Like, his neighbor got it on camera from, like, down the road. They're like, this dude's dropping a lot. He's dropping nuclear N-bombs over here. And they canceled him. And he got uncanceled because he won a major country award. And people were requesting his song so much down in Nashville. It was like some beta song about you're probably making out on the couch right now with somebody new. And I need my whiskey glasses. And I'm like learning this song, and I like realized that he was the guy that got canceled from the video. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I'm not learning that song. This guy got canceled hard as shit. But he came back from it, and they did the same thing. There's a lot of country guys down there, like Kid Rock was a part of some of the bars that we did. One of them was Kid Rock's Honky Tonk.
Oh, shit.
And so I never met him. They claimed that he would come around. They were like, oh, the Stars, so they have dinner at their clubs. They're here. Learn their songs. And he was one of those other artists that's like, I'm non-cancelable. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, your fan base is not, they're not going to get mad at you.
Yeah.
They're not going to over-critically analyze
No, the
everything
people
you
who
say.
already don't listen to you are the ones who are going to be like, fuck you, you're
That's
canceled.
sort of the point. It's
And
like
your
people
fan base is
already-
going to be like, fuck them guys. Say it again. Like,
You know what I mean? So that's like one of the things that they got going for Nashville is they didn't shut down for the pandemic. They had that we're uncancelable screw you thing. So I was like, you know what? I'll play some shows there while they're open. Because things weren't open here in the spring.
No.
We still had a couple months where I had a lot of cancellations. We were supposed to open for Green Jello at the Odeon.
oh, shit.
And they said it was a COVID cancellation, and I wasn't sure if it was like COVID or low ticket sales because of COVID.
COVID was a factor.
But the whole tour got tanked.
No.
And I think they're going to be at the Empire now, which is a way smaller club than the Odeon. But I was like, screw this. I'm going to go down to Nashville and see why they're uncancelable. And I'm like, oh, I know why, because they don't give a shit down here in the South. Greg's been down there. They don't give a shit about what you think or who you are or where you come from or what you think you know. They're like, who the fuck is this kid?
Right.
And I didn't give a shit either. I don't know how I got in. I was like, I guess I'm the best guitar player you ever met. And they're like, why don't you go get on stage then? And I was like, oh, I'll be on stage now, And they'd be like, oh, get up here then. It was like this whole, they called it running the gauntlet. They're like, we're going to send you down through the gauntlet. If you suck, the sound guy, they told me, they're like, if you suck, they're going to cut your ears off. And I was like, wow.
It's kinda
That's
harsh.
aggressive, I was like, that's aggressive. My parents were in town. I was like, you guys, I got to meet you at the club. They're going to cut my ears off. I'm like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? Because my folks came into town with my guitars. I'm like, I need $500 in an SG. And they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting my shot. My shot's coming. I can't miss the fucking boat. So they show up. You got to keep my ears, Mom.
I don't want to end up like Greg.
And they, hated everything that I was wearing. They're like, your cowboy hat sucks, and you're fat and your jeans are too big and your scarf is gay. And I was like, whoa, hold on. So I like pick this new outfit, man. There's a black. I go to the mall. I buy like tight black jeans, like the country look. And they're like, all right, what are you doing now? I'm like, I'm trying to play guitar. And they're like, we're going to send you out there. And I did Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan. And that was
shit.
it. That was the yeah, exactly.
No, you come out with that off the rip and you just
What are you
toss the
gonna do?
guitar back like,
what
fuck
are you gonna do? And I didn't know what to do because their set list, I did like my set list wasn't adding up with theirs. You know, they're doing all these country songs on like Honky Tonk Woman, like, and there's this girl, her name's Abby Callahan. She's a singer. She was really friendly. She's like, "What's your go-to? What do you like to do?" I'm like, "How about Pride and Joy by Stevie Ray Vaughan?" She's like, "Do that one," and it was really good. And they still do that song in Nashville. I still see them playing it. It wasn't on the set list for bar gigs, and when I left, I still see people playing that song down there. Because the last thing I did before I left, it was weird. I went downtown, and they were playing at Kid Rock's bar, and I knew the guy on stage, and he called me on stage. They were doing like Sweet Caroline. They're like, "Sing Sweet Caroline." And I'm like, ba, ba, ba. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, God. It's like packed, you know? It's like this packed house bar. Like, oh, this is our friend John Dante. He just got out of prison, and he needs to get laid, and he don't got no STDs. And I'm like, thanks, Nashville. And I went up the street to Tootsie's, which is another famous bar, and I knew the band playing there. The dude had a 52 Fender Telecaster, like butterscotch blonde, like the axe.
Yeah.
It was so janky, like one of the pickups didn't work. And he was like, I need it set up. And I was like, it does need set up. Such an old guitar. And I was like, why isn't it working? He's like, you gotta be on the neck pickup. And I was like, oh, okay. So I did Valerie by Amy Winehouse with the girl singer, and I sang Pride and Joy. And that was pretty much it. I left after that. I bought some like everything that I could afford to buy, and was like, you know what, I'm taking it back to Ohio. So that was about it. I hung out for like another day or two, waited for some more gigs, and was like, you know what, time to move on from country. And I wrote Chicken Shit, and now that's about.
Now you're sitting in the basement with us.
Yeah, back here in Ohio, we're doing some shows. I'm gonna plug myself one more shameless plug before I want to hear Coheed. I told everyone else to tune in. But this Sunday, we're going to be at the Niles Artisan Market on Robbins Avenue. If anybody's in town, the parade is starting there at noon, the 4th of July parade. And there's a hot dog eating contest and another band that starts around 3 or 4. And John Dante and the Inferno has 1 to 4. We're selling our CDs and our merch. I'm going to be playing acoustic versions of Chicken Shit. And I'm going to be playing my set list that I wrote in Nashville, Tennessee.
There you go.
And also, July 15th, I just got this confirmed. I'm going to be up at the Odeon. That's going to be a solo set because John, the bass player, is going to Hawaii because he's doing the vacation thing. He's going to go catch some rays. Because we did about 15 shows in this run since I've been back in March. I think we're at least a dozen. I think we had 15 scheduled. I think we got through a dozen so far. So we're going to take a little bit of time off, and I'm going to play the 13th at the Odeon. It's going to be solo acoustic, so I want to bring some friends up because that might get weird. I can do, you know what I mean? I haven't done a solo show since I've been in Nashville, and it's a rock club, so I'm going to try and bring some people out to that one. So hit me up, guys. Come out Sunday to the Niles Artisan Farmers Market, and hit me up for July 15th because we're going to be taking a crew up to the Odeon in Kent, and we're going to be having a party.
There you go, everybody. That's what John Dante is doing. So go out to that Niles Artisan Market. Flea market?
Yeah, it's a farmer's market
That's
and
the
craft market, yeah.
Go out there, watch people choke down wieners. And once that sucks, go watch John Dante.
Yeah. It's going to be a fun time. Someone asked me if I was joining the hot dog contest, but I don't know if I could actually. I mean, it's a free lunch. You know, someone was like, you could probably eat more hot dogs than what the entry fee is worth.
Right, then you could just stand there and just eat them and be like, oh, I'm slow.
You could, but I'm not going to say I'm going to get competitive about it. That's
what I mean.
Because
everybody else is smashing them down.
You're smashing more wieners than I am. God, so I don't know if the hot dog eating contest is my vibe, but I've never been to one.
It's I've never seen one live. I've seen them not in person on the interwebs.
Like if there's a Japanese dude there, no way. No way. You can't compete.
He's seen the videos too.
You ever seen one with the world record holder versus a grizzly bear?
No, who wins?
The Japanese guy.
The grizzly bear probably because he didn't want to eat hot dogs.
No, he was smashing.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like, I was smashing.
Yeah, I watched a documentary about that, and it freaked me out because it talked about like how their insides can expand and contract so much, and it's like,
right.
I don't know. It was weird.
Fuck bears. They don't kill you before they start eating. They just hold you down, start eating. I'm not kidding. They do.
They want you to struggle.
Everything they eat, deer, people, moose, elk, anything they eat, they just chase it down, smack it, hold it down.
At least
and
they
start
finish eating you. Like a shark will just take a chunk out of your leg and be like, "That was gross,
No,
bro.
No, that's not what bears do.
You sucked.
Right.
You bastard."
What?
That's not what bears do, dude. Bears will
No.
hold you down and eat until they're done eating, and then you're just laying there alive, missing a leg. And you're like, ah, and then they just go lay down over there, and eventually they get back up and come over, and, oh, I'm going to eat some more now.
They just wait. They're just lazy about it.
Well, no, because they keep you alive so the meat doesn't go bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder if a Bigfoot would do that. Do you ever wonder if you met a Bigfoot if they would be dangerous?
Where's Brad when I need him?
Right. There's so many things about Bigfoot on our podcast. It's not
I
even
wonder.
funny.
I also wonder. I was going through this with my buddy the other day. He hikes a lot because he's a trucker. I'm always like, bro, be careful.
How the fuck does that match up?
Because he has days off and he's out in Wyoming or Arizona. Or,
So he's just
Yeah.
like, I'm waiting a day for a load. I gotta just take
Exactly.
a wander.
Well,
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
like,
he is sitting in a truck all day. Why not hike?
Yeah.
Because he's in a
Also-
van too. He's not even in a 18-wheeler, so he doesn't have to worry. He's like road life. So he likes to hike, and I'm like, he'd go out in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, bro, drop a pin. Like if you're, I mean, there's like wildfires out there. At least if I don't hear from you, like pin me like your last before you park the car, just so I know how far out you actually wandered. Because who knows what could happen out there with mountain lions. I was like, do you think you could beat a mountain lion in a fight if you had to?
Nope.
No. Well, what do you think, Greg?
With a big enough stick or something, probably.
Oh, I see.
You think-
There's your problem.
What?
You're thinking one-on-one. No, you're gonna get murked, just like everything else a mountain lion takes
Well,
out.
they do surprise you. They're not that heavy though, are they?
Yeah.
No, I mean, they're less
Big
than
one.
200 pounds, aren't they?
But
They
st-
get over
Let
200.
me get a 150-pound a bag of flour and throw it at your back. When you're not paying attention, I'll just
Right.
sneak up on you at a show or a club or something and just jack you with this 150 pound. I'll pick up Greg and throw him at your back.
I told you couldn't beat a mountain lion in a fight, you bitch.
Everybody in the club like, what the
statistics,
fuck?
though. They weren't bad. I looked them up. It was there was a good percentage of people that won the fight. I was really into it for a while. I was like, well, could you win a fight against a mountain lion if you had to?
If
Like
you
it-
had to, it's
It
too.
might be like a cat now. Like if you punch that motherfucker square in the nose, you
If-
might be alright.
If you can, I mean, you're gonna get torn the fuck up no matter what happens.
Well, I mean, yeah.
You're getting torn the fuck up no matter
it's
what
gonna
happens.
Latch on to you, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
But,
Hit that motherfucker in the nose.
that's saying that you can get it one-on-one, face-to-face, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, you see it coming and have a chance to react. 9 times out of 10, you're just going to get a mouth around the back of your neck.
That's sort of the problem. Is if
Like, you're going to feel 2 paws and claws and a mouth around the back of your neck, and the lights are just going to go out.
some people have survived mountain lion attacks.
Oh, some have, yes. The last guy I know of, they were like, oh, yeah, he beat up a mountain lion with his bare hands and he killed it. And, da, 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 da. And then you
That's
watch the
the
video,
story.
and it's a baby. It's like
It's not a full-grown.
it's
cougar.
like 60 pounds.
right. Well,
It's
when-
small. Like,
When it comes to taking on cougars, I know my buddy can do that, so I hope he can put a mountain lion. I know he's taking on a few cougars. I heard not pumas, I heard panthers actually were coming up from South America due to global warming. And we were seeing more of those.
maybe.
And they just found, since I'm going into cryptids for no reason, they just found
I love cryptids.
the biggest python ever in Florida. Did
It
you
was
see
like
that?
27 feet or something.
It was big, yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking huge.
It was, yeah, they killed it.
Of course.
And people were like, why would you kill it? And I was like, because the thing doesn't belong anywhere, dude.
Dude, do you know how bad it is in the Everglades with pythons right now?
It's bad enough that they found one that was almost 30 feet.
No, they've killed everything. There's
Really?
no mammalian or bird life left. They have killed everything. They've gone on to eating alligators.
Which is scary, because what eats an alligator?
Fucking giant python.
Big
Yeah.
ass snake.
They're bad
Yeah.
for the deer.
Oh, there's no more deer. There's no more nutria. There's no more beavers, ground, anything. Pigs like left. Like there might be wild pigs left running around because those are things that are hard to get fucking rid of. That'll be the eternal battle: giant pythons versus angry boars.
Yeah.
I can see the next sci-fi movie with terrible CG now. Give me a practical effect for Christ's sakes. Like
This conversation's got your dog all riled up. What's her name?
Angel.
Yeah. Angel's here in the studio. She's like, what are you guys talking about?
Well, you got thunder and fireworks. She's not a happy dog.
Well, Thunder's pretty much done.
Yeah, but fireworks went off, and that's why her
Yeah.
ass is down here now.
Right. Speaking of loud things, we should get into this fucking
Let's
album.
do it. I was gonna say I want to hear what Cody's new record is.
Right. Here you go, everybody. Vaxis 2, A Window of the Waking Mind from June 24th, 2020. Here we go.
We all go on in flames, going out in style.
phobias, hook, line, and sinker. Time will bind, time will undo. Hey, kid, there's no shame and no reason to die for crying out loud. Run like the dead have risen when you're left with zero. save me. She tells me what she wants. That only you can have your way. I don't wanna be here like a photograph remains. But you and I at the end of a bad night. Oh, maybe this is the war. I'm so full of bad ideas. And trust me, you don't wanna hear them. Tell me everything. Now draw the line. Now draw the line. 'Cause I'm so afraid to let you know how I'm letting go. Oh, I'm such a mess, baby. This game's over. A woman goes in and no one gets in. I start to finish, but you sit and spin alone. Don't get too close. I don't wanna feel fucking keep me comatose. There's no more maybes. This is absolute. So don't stop now. Today's the day. I know it's not what you want. It's not what you wanna hear. But what's it really matter when you're lost? I'll go sing a song for all your lonely hearts. No more wasted years. You're afraid of me as crazy as you are. But you can't cross the line. You're borderline. You're borderline. 'Cause I'm so afraid to let you know how I'm letting go. Oh, I'm such a mess, baby. This game's over. A woman goes in and no one gets in. I start to finish, but you sit and spin alone. Don't get too close. I don't wanna feel fucking keep me comatose. Honey, keep me comatose. I'm so afraid of you. This world ends to all of you. So afraid to let you know how I'm letting go. Oh, I'm such a mess, baby. This game's over. A woman goes in and no one gets in. I start to finish, but you sit and spin alone. Don't get too close. I don't wanna feel fucking keep me comatose. Don't get too close. I don't wanna feel fucking keep me comatose. Listen, young man, I've got your attention. Got to let you know. I hate to see you go. Now that you go, we can enjoy the show. Hey, my wicked eyes do see that I'm the one. My shoulders. You're going out of your way just to keep me down. Maybe we weren't made for each other, and I'm just the one you can keep around. Maybe all things have been misconceptions. That's the life you chose. Everyone is laughing at you, out to get you. But change is the exception. Time to breathe your life outside the shadow. okay to be afraid. Here with you. My love will make it. My hands are clean, deeper. We're strong enough to face our fear. Now watch time disappear. Time disappear. If you see me bleeding, leave me alone. Don't want you in my world throwing stones. This glass house isn't yours to comb, so we're done. Game's over, love, murder, wild. Have we come to an understanding? Let's agree to disagree. Circumventing resolutions, and all they seem to like can keep us from coming back. Oh, when I drink from your cauldron, I see through your witching eyes. The more it reveals that we're broken in a love not meant to last, it only lives to die. If you see me bleeding, leave me alone. Don't want you in my world throwing stones. This glass house isn't yours to go, so we're done. Game's over, love, murder, one. I'll confess what your heart is feeling in a hallmark cut of your fears. Tonight, you make your toast to better days when all that seems so right. I hear your heartbeat thumping, screaming, honey, don't let me go. I know you're up to something. I know you wanna stay, but I'm already. If you see me bleeding, leave me alone. Don't want you in my world throwing stones. This glass house isn't yours to go, so we're done. Game's over, love, murder, wild. If you see me, believe me, it's killing me slow. Don't care to live in this world anymore. Lights out, how do you call this fun? We're done. Game over, love, murder, leave me alone. Don't want you in my world throwing stones. This glass house isn't yours to go home. Oh, we're done. The game's over, love, murder, wild. If you see me, believe me, it's killing me slow. Don't wanna live in this world anymore. Lights out, how do you call this fun? Oh, we're done. Game over, love, murder, game's over, love, murder, wild. Is there anyone in there? Desire left to be repaired. It feels so hard to need a soul the world may never see. such a mess, far beyond repair. Your mind at a service, hard to find the words worth saying. What we do to deserve this, everything seems broken when you look at it that way. It's a disease, and there ain't no cure. The truth is such a bore. Or do you want me to lie? 'Cause I can do it, baby, I can do it. Lie to you, please ask me to. 'Cause life feels so much better when we just avoid the truth. Baby, are you okay to lie with me? Deep in disgrace with empty retreats, farther than it seems to be. The older I creep,
take a chance on forever. I'm reliving all those days you loved so well. Totally hoping I became the one you felt. For worse or better, I would never dishonor. Give you all the ammo that you want, you deserve so. And I'll be better once the arrow hits hard. Give you the wedding that you want, you are so out of my league. Out of my league. Oh, I'll be your guide when you wanna get lost. I'll be the sword at your side at all costs. Our love won't surrender to the odds up against us. No, but there's something about this I know we can't miss. Let's take a chance on forever. Our love won't surrender to the odds up against us. No, but there's something about this I know we can't miss. Let's do this now or we'll never. tension sits. As the world comes into view, our biggest fears, they seem to all come true. So how we gonna handle this when the punch lands? Boy, it's all about how you fall. Go on, swallow your defeat. Stand down, boy.
choking and you feel so afraid. Help is this my place? Searching to find what to say. Am I okay to fear, boy? You own it. Guilty of finding angel in your arms. She's plucking her wings, she laughs for you will replace them. There's something in your way. The mark that you miss, caution your throat, lost in the dark, making the glow. I'm gonna tell ya, tell all. There's a change of the guard, so you play your part, assuming you know where to start. As pieces start coming apart, she'll stitch those wings to your heart. But it's not what you wanted. She looks deep in your eyes. She sees all the flaws and pulls you together. Say what you want, 'cause you are. Go on now, let heaven know the beautiful boy that you are. Hold me and I'll be there. You need your great destroyer. All that you succumb. Damn, I'm trapped in the cage and the saving graces who live out all outcomes. The forever you want is the never you'll get when you learn that you're gonna be so alone. Oh, when your mother and I go. But you gotta believe, you gotta be strong for me and I'll be there. You need your great destroyer. Oh, my baby boy, don't you cry. It's you and I, do or die overboard. Now cut the cord. Silence your tongue. Divide your lives and give us all your love. Your day has come. Open your mind and do what must be done. Call me and I'll be there. I'll be your great destroyer. Oh, my baby boy, don't you cry. It's you and I, do or die. Hold me and I'll be there. You need your great destroyer. Oh, my baby boy, don't you cry. It's you and so it goes. Oh, and so it goes. Deep inside his eyes, I see myself as I wonder who he'll turn out to be. Is that a question that needs answering right now?
And so concludes this chapter, as my parents unravel the entangled threads of my reality, not of design, but by accident. My perception in question, as I leave the infinite for the present, and rise, a window of the waking mind.
Here's a simple story, and I hope I tell it well, of a boy locked in a place, his mind the very cell, imprisoned with his wild visions of every time and space. There's no one in this world quite like him. The thing that complicates it is his parents and who they are. The law they made to run from beyond the house of the stars. The birth must be in secret, so no prying eyes can see. There's no one else this world quite like him. Our pride and joy, are you there? Are you in there safe and sound? Tell us what you need so we can help you. We don't know what to do. We don't know what to do. Patronizing doctors with their diagnostic leads. Carry on your query. It's blood, the boy, he bleeds. But you can't see him like you, so a monster he must be. There's no one in this world quite like him. Vaxes. Vaxes. Vaxes, can you see us with your eyes? Vaxes, can you hear us with your ears? Is this right to calculate his moments? To find what's normal is being normal. What's I'll take you home, this child of ours. I'll take you home. With all my love, I'll give you the world and keep no secrets from you. So life gets tough, but it's no excuse or your fault. My brightest star, shine your light on us all. Am I wrong, or did he save me? Shine your love on all these crazy eyes. Who says you got a mosquito? Figure it out. Who says you're gonna live on this? You'll probably set them free. You can do it on time, so you know I'll be watching you on to the team. Don't you go broken. The lioness sleeps, my boy. It's okay to cry. I'm telling you, it's okay to
There you go, everybody. That was Coheed and Cambria with that really long ass title that I'm not gonna fucking repeat.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Right? It's my favorite album by them.
I think I heard that one.
It's literally all of them. Every album title they have is over 5 words.
That was an interesting record.
Right? Wasn't bad.
Yeah, it seemed.
Yeah, I liked it.
It reminded me of his solo, like I was saying during the record, that Prize Fighter Inferno electronic.
Yeah.
It had a lot of that influence, it sounded like. Could use more guitar solos, but
Right.
anything. Always more guitar solos.
Always. Always.
Always more guitar solos. So that's the review at the end.
Actually, that's one thing. Speaking of guitar solos and breakdowns, I've been going down the rabbit hole of watching people on YouTube react to "Domination in Moscow" by Pantera.
Are they freaking out?
Oh no! I mean, it's just the YouTubers reacting to like just how 500,000 people or whatever, and the Pantera live and Dime playing, and that just chugging breakdown and and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And it's like I love it because that's like I remember hearing it for the first time, being like, "This is the heaviest thing ever." Like, and it remains to this day one of the best solos into breakdowns ever.
Yeah, Dimebag was the man.
Right?
He really.
Stupid Columbus. Why did our state have to kill Dime?
They took that club down. The club's not there anymore.
Good. Fuck that place. Go piss on the spot where it was.
It is gone. They had a little RIP Dime Rock and shit. Ohio. It was interestingly, when I was in Nashville, I had a friend, and he was like, I was playing bass for Damage Plan that night in Columbus, and I was like, you kidding me? How did you know Pantera? And he was like, I was friends with those guys from when I lived in Texas. He was like, I was filling in on some shows, and he claimed that he was there that day, and he was like, I was jumping in. He said he was opening, and he was filling in. I think he said he was at the bar, and like Rex was on bass, or somebody else was on bass for that song.
Rex wasn't in that band.
That's why I think he was filling with the groups. And he said he was there when that happened, and I was like, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard ever. But I've had 2 or 3 people in my music career tell me they were there when that happened for real.
Right.
I honestly, like, I don't know, bro, because, like, it happened to me. I was in a band, we were touring, and it was a really crazy Primus tribute band, and I swear this dude was like, I was working the night that Dimebag got shot. And I was like, wait, really? When someone tells you that, like, you don't, like argue. You know, like, bullshit. This should be your first response. You
Right.
should just be like, bullshit, you were. Next time someone tells me that, you know, I'm like, but you don't, it's always, like, all deep and traumatic. They're like, I was there. Like, shit, you were there. But I don't know how many people.
But what were
Villa
you-
Madrid was tiny,
They'll
dude.
be like, what were you doing there? Be like, oh, I was filling in on bass. Like, it's the third motherfucker.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, I don't double check everyone's stories. I could look it up and see. You know, if like, but
Yeah.
I don't. The you know, that was a really small venue, and now that I think of it, it's the second person that told me they were there when it happened that I've never actually been able to confirm or deny
Right.
whether
It's
I've met people.
Schrodinger. It's Schrodinger's audience member.
You know what I mean? Well, it's apparently Schrodinger's crew and band members. So everyone was like, I was there, but you know,
Yeah.
um,
You know, you can get the Pantera behind the music from VH1 in its entirety on YouTube.
you can get anything. Well, not anything in its entirety, but no, I haven't watched the Pantera behind the
It's
music.
pretty good. It's pretty good.
Coheed and Cambria. I need to make a correction because I told everyone I was going to be playing at the Odeon on the 15th, and it's actually the Outpost in Kent.
Ah.
Yeah, I made that mistake earlier. Someone texted me, they're like, you're not going to be at the Odeon, you're going to be at the Outpost. And I was like,
somebody's
"That's
actually
right."
listening?
Yeah, sometimes you get people that listen, especially like when you make a mistake, someone's always listening.
Oh, every time.
If you do it perfectly,
Actually, that's bullshit because we never have listeners and we fuck up all the time.
we fuck up all the time and no one's ever paying attention.
That's kind of what we're known for. I guess.
Yeah, right.
Perfection is.
See, John Dante brings the listeners. He is now a full-time fixture on Fulham Fridays.
Got to bring them fans out. That's that's what people like to see. People coming out to shows. So yeah, we're gonna have the next Woodstock coming up here soon, 100,000 strong.
Right.
They do shows that big, but
I can't imagine being in a crowd that big. I'd fucking lose my shit.
I mean that's a lot of people.
Like, a lot of light. It would smell so funky up in that fucking place.
You would have to, I feel like if I was in a crowd of 100,000 people, I would just instinctively, anxiously have to piss instantly.
Right.
You know, you just look and be like, so there's what, like a mile's worth of people here. Kind of have to pee. You can pee. Don't say the word. Just sweat it out.
Right.
That's,
Like, thank
yeah.
God it's hot. I don't have the moisture in my body to piss right now.
Right, that's the one thing about when you drink and party super hard is your body's not actually functioning, so you can not pee for 2 days and you don't even notice. You're just like everything's burning up, your kidneys aren't actually working anymore. You're like dehydrated, you're like, I don't know, I've been drinking whiskey coke since Thursday. I don't really have to pee.
It's 98 degrees outside.
I'm totally fine. Everything's fine. I don't think I need to eat until Wednesday.
Ooh, a hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, good old days of being absolutely way too wasted to make your pants work or whatever happens when you have to use a trash can for a bathroom.
You know, he made his pants work fine. He just wasn't in the right spot.
That's a big one when people get too drunk because they pee in like places that they shouldn't pee in. And I was wondering why. I was listening to a drunk story the other day. Someone's like, I was so drunk I peed in my drawer. I was like, first time? It's like, that's one of the classic symptoms of being too drunk is you just piss in your sock drawer or somewhere that you shouldn't pee.
Do you want to hear a horrible for the person, but funny for everybody else story about peeing sober? Peeing your pants sober at that.
How, I guess now we're in it. We're invested.
I used to climb cell phone towers.
Okay.
It was wintertime, like on the ground with the wind chill. It was like 10 degrees, 200 feet in the air. It was like minus 10 degrees with the wind chill. So we're all Carhartted up and everything. Climbing up there, we had this new guy with us. And he's like, man, I got to piss. And it's like, well, you can't go down, so either get it out and piss off the tower and call yellow rain or hold it.
Right.
He's
How
like-
high up are you on this tower now?
Like 200 feet.
So you're high enough up that like that pee's not even really gonna reach the ground. It's just gonna become like part of the atmosphere.
It might not.
That's high though. That's like being on top of a roller coaster. You're up there.
I've been to the top of the WKBN tower over there off Midlothian. It's 1,400 feet.
That's
right.
another story.
Yeah.
So what happens? Does he piss himself?
He's like, I'm fucking freezing. I'm gonna piss myself. That's what scuba divers do, right? And we went,
It was cold up there.
yeah, very cold. And we're like, don't fucking do that. Just
Yeah.
piss off the tower if you have to. No, I'm gonna piss my pants. 2 birds, 1 stone. And he pisses his
Really?
pants.
How dumb was he?
Very. This week he made it half a day.
Because his pants were pee-peed?
No, he pisses his pants and he's like, oh, it's so warm. And then in about 40 seconds, it froze.
Oh, yeah.
Well, your dick's encased, and balls are encased, and thighs are encased in soaking wet
And piss
pants.
ice.
Yeah. So
It's
now,
like a pea
so now
slushy.
he can't move without breaking the ice that's around his dick, and it's killing him. We're like, you're stupid. And he's like, I gotta get down, and he just climbed down, and that was the end of that. We went up, finished the job, and took off.
Yeah, I saw a horror movie like that once where these people got stuck on a ski lift.
Oh, that movie was fucking.
You know the one I'm
hysterical.
talking
Yeah,
about?
The Lift.
Dude, and like for some reason, I'm living in Hollywood at the time, and my buddy was over, and he had the party bag, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like, we were drinking scotch, and it was not a good movie for it's not a scotch and mushrooms film.
No, that film was fucking horrible.
The wolves end up eating
Yeah.
that kid. I guess
He's got broken legs, and the wolves are just ripping him apart. Like, ah!
that movie traumatized me more to ski lifts than I already am. Because I hate those things. They're dead. I don't know. I don't like them. Like I got hit by one once, and everyone they had to stop it, and everyone was mad. They're like, "Come on, man!" I'm like, "I don't know what to do. I got a board strapped to my feet. That thing's coming in here at 15 miles an hour. If you don't sit down and grab the bar at the right minute, it's gonna launch you off the edge of this goddamn mountain." And totally just got like blasted by it because I was like looking at the one ahead of me. I don't know, dude. I don't fucking ski lifts. I'm not going out like Sonny Bono. You know what I mean? I'm not a skier.
Right? That's like the best we can do is sled riding.
But yeah, I don't know if I have any good sober pee in your pants stories. I don't know if that's how. I'm trying to think. Not that I'm admitting to. Life on the road is its own adventure.
I pissed myself a few times sober.
I like
Just to
remember
prove a point.
one time I went to a graduation party and everyone was, people were getting drunk at this graduation party. The cops showed up and I was playing music with my acoustic guitar. And they arrested everybody that was at this bonfire.
Yeah.
And this kid got drunk and he was hiding under a boat cover from the cops. And we get arrested and we get into the backseat of the car and this kid's like, I got pissed. And he was in handcuffs and I was like, well, you should probably just pee yourself. And he took my advice and he pissed himself in the back of the car. Which made the cops were pretty angry about that.
Yeah, that's like extra fines and jail time.
And then, the best part, though, is when his parents came to pick him up from the station, and they were so mad. They were like, Billy, why would you run from the cop? Yeah, I don't know what his name was, why would you run from no names, right? And I think the statute of limitations are good on this story. Why would you run from the police? We didn't teach you to be that way. And what's wrong with your pants? And he's like, pee my pants, Mom. And I'm sitting there, and like, is that, I don't know. I don't want to say I didn't tell him to pee his pants, but I mean, it's not good advice.
Why'd you pee your pants?
Yeah, if you're like, I had to pee, and I was like, oh, you should pee your pants, and you're like, all right, here we go.
I'm gonna let it rip.
So you're the angel on the shoulder. Don't pee your pants, I'm the devil. Go for it, bro. Only cool kids do that. We've descended into chaos on this podcast.
No, this is nothing.
This isn't that bad.
This is nothing.
This is family friendly, so.
Greg,
Yes, sir.
John says we've descended into madness.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Come for an S&G show when
Listen.
everybody's here.
Remember when we had the conversation earlier about Sasquatch?
Yeah.
We've had the conversation of Sasquatch's sexual preference.
And then we did I did like 45.
Right. So listen, shit gets weird around here real fucking quick.
I did like 45 minutes on there's gonna be a Sasquatch with an erect penis outside waiting for Brad to
Well,
make
you know what
sweet
they
love.
say about creatures with big feet.
We've discussed whether it's like just like hidden in the hair or if it's kind of like dog
Well,
sheath style.
I mean, gorillas have the tiniest penis per body mass, I think. Like a gorilla,
Yeah,
like
but-
is the biggest animal in the world, and it also has the smallest of penises.
It is not.
Maybe that's the reason.
Well,
why
I mean,
they're so
per
angry.
like body mass,
Yeah.
like if you compared like the body, the size of a gorilla to like the percentage of that hulking monster is its actual dick.
Yeah.
I think it's bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bigfoots are like that or
Well,
not.
they're the missing link
I don't
between
know.
humans, so it's like maybe some get the small gorilla penis, and some get the regular man dick that's just proportionate to the size of the creature.
It's proportionate to the size of their feet.
Hey, look at Jerry. He's only a size 27.
Those people in Kazakhstan and Russia and those mountainous regions of Eastern Europe that say they're half Bigfoot. You ever seen those stories?
No.
Whole villages where they're like, oh yeah, everyone's grandma is the Bigfoot. Like, what do you mean? They were like, there's just two of us when we came to the mountains. And one Bigfoot. There's like 30 people with beards. And giant women that build houses.
Right.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. They like took everyone's bone structure and they're like, well, the people in this part of Eastern Europe do have 2 inches of skull mass that we can't really explain. And they're like, yes, grandma was Bigfoot. We all have grandma who's Bigfoot. So, I'm not really sure. It's not like the creature from the Black Lagoon. You don't really hear stories of like Peeping Tom Bigfoots. So,
I mean, would you tell the media if Bigfoot fucked you?
well, I mean, I'm a musician, so it'd be a story.
It'd be a song. It'd be a song. I'd be on CNN going, "Look how blown out my asshole is, spreading my cheeks." It's like,
That's not proof of Bigfoot, though.
Yeah, what the fuck? When the hell did this become Wednesday?
Hold on a minute. That doesn't prove anything.
proves willing to show my asshole on fucking national television.
This episode brought to you by
Scotty's butthole. The letter
Scotty
O. And the number 7.
And the color brown.
and Goatee Caramel Candies. Those are where you're at.
Oh, shit.
Junior Mints.
I should just make a new album. I should be recording new metal music right now. What are we doing here? I need to make a new
God, you
metal
can get some
record.
deep growls in.
Did you hear the new Guns N' Roses single that came out like a couple months
No,
ago?
I have not.
Fuck
not
no.
It was really weird.
You're allowed to say
That's
bad.
Probably why I didn't listen to it.
It was
No, I didn't
called
listen to
Absurd.
it because at this point in time, they're not going to put out anything I'm going to enjoy.
It was really out there. Like the music video was like Medusa.
Yeah, I'm good.
It was like,
I don't even like listening to old Guns N' Roses because it's so overplayed.
what about the album that they did with Primus?
Dude, I'm
Almost-
I mean, Chinese Democracy. The whole drums that were done by Brain Mantia, who played drums for Primus.
That's-
he did all the drum work. on
that
it.
is not Primus.
And then Buckethead played the guitar, and he played with Primus. Claypool wasn't on that record. But I
Claypool
always-
is Primus.
I feel like there's like a big. Well, actually, I feel like Larry, the guitar player, is Primus because Claypool has like 6 other bands, and none of them are Primus. But then when that guitar player shows up,
yeah,
Larry, then it's totally Primus. I don't know what to call it. I'm like, yeah, but I've seen
but-
Claypool like 5 times, and the only time it's Primus is when Larry is playing guitar.
right, because A, lineup restrictions, but B, you couldn't get another bass player to come in and have it be Primus. You
No.
get another guitar player and call it Primus.
I don't know if they could at this point. But
Maybe you're right. Primus is Primus. It has to have all 3 members.
well, Buckethead was on that record. I think that's one of the most underrated records of the decade.
Which one was it?
Chinese Democracy.
Oh, no, I meant the Primus album, Buckethead.
He recorded. I don't know if he did any albums with them. I know he did a bunch of some live stuff with them in the early part of his career, and Claypool recorded some stuff with Buckethead. But I don't know other than jam sessions and like the Bucket of Bernie Fried Brain stuff, like maybe Praxis. You know, they all did like some different sort of side stuff. He's like the fourth. You know, he's the 5th Beatle of Primus, though I'd say. Yeah, he's like the extra member that's not really in the band, but
Right,
we should be able to give him credit.
Or it's like the 2 horn players in No Doubt that don't get any fucking credit.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I'm shouting out Scholar's Pain. No doubt. No. Horn players. I've never been able to write with horns. I don't know why.
Well, because you don't write ska.
Yeah. I'm not a Rust Belt reggae band, so I'm not a seasonal rock group. People are all about it. I don't know. It's like the marching band from Youngstown and also the Sunshine. Everyone's like, you know what? We're gonna be a tropical band for 6 months out of the year.
Right.
Everyone's like, yes, it's summertime.
And then the winter comes
But-
around. Oh, we're back to being a, like fucking deathcore. Like,
That's the problem.
when's
with
that fucking
seasons.
kitchen knife show, Greg?
Are they coming back?
It's at the West Side West Side Bowl.
Damn it.
Right.
You guys don't hit up the West Side Bowl.
We discussed
I
that.
will look it up. No, I will not.
No, you will not.
I have
I will
not
do it
been
on
at
my
that
phone.
venue yet.
I'm using a piece of shit laptop.
There's
Ah.
a few venues that I haven't actually played at, but that's one of them. We used to play at Chippers all the time.
I used to go there underage.
Dude, then there's that shooting there. Do you remember that?
I remember hearing of it.
Yeah, that was nuts. That's never good. That's never a good sign. I don't even know if they still do shows there anymore.
I think they do. They just did one, I think. I'm not
I
positive.
think the
Really?
one that they're doing at the West Side Bowl is they're coming back out.
Youngstown music venues.
Youngstown's original stomp core.
Youngstown original Cedars. Smelled like pee.
Dude, so we went to Cedars after my wedding.
The original one or the one that's on
the
Yeah.
original one.
Did it smell like pee back then?
No, we used to go. Well,
No.
here's how. Check this shit out. It's a fun story. So my wife and I met on Thursday swing night, right? So when we got married on a Thursday.
Nice.
So we did like our little reception at the venue, and then we said, "Hey, I hope you brought your wallets. We're going to the bar." And we went downtown to Cedars because it was Thursday.
Okay.
So we're still all in our wedding garb. Like I had these cats in like tails and top hats. Like
I think my profile picture is
yeah,
still.
it's still that picture. But yeah, like tails and top hats. Everybody's all dressed the fuck up. We walked in. Billy the bartender. He's just like, "Hey, what's the occasion, guys?" Because we were regulars, you know. Yeah, like, "Hey, we got hitched." He's like, "Oh shit!" He puts our usuals up. He's like, "It's on me." Then he starts looking behind us. He's like, "What's all this?" I'm like, "We brought every fucking body. We rolled in like 40 deep."
Wedding party.
Yeah, I mean, and it was just open for regular swing night. But we just had like 40 people with us. That bar was packed.
That's always fun.
And it was swing night, and they were just like, "You want?" I'm like, "Nope, keep it going. We're gonna dance." And we went out and danced and drank, and it was fucking awesome.
So you guys, did you honeymoon after that?
Yeah,
Nice. Where'd you go?
can't remember.
Yeah, like we got here with Sears. I don't remember what.
I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere like it was some like condo timeshare thing that my brother-in-law had, like up in like maybe northern PA, northeastern PA maybe, something like that. It was like 4 or 5 hour drive, but there was like elk everywhere.
That's fun, especially if you want to go hunting.
Well, no, I mean, like, they were just, like, chilling by the side of the road. Like, you pull up your car and take a picture of them, like, me to you away, and just look at you like, I could gore you in the face right now.
Yeah, elks are
But I
big
won't, because I'm
animals.
pretty fat and happy
Pretty
right now.
majestic. Not going to do it.
Right.
The most packed I saw a bar when I showed up in Nashville in January. It was like a Tuesday, and some dude bought 200 shots of vodka, and they were lined up on the bar, and they were trying to give them away.
Oh, my God.
Bar was absolutely packed, like super packed on like a Tuesday. This dude's like, it's hard 200 shots now. I wasn't drinking. I met some girl from Canada, and it was like, I want to see what the South is like. So I was like, all right, I had my car. I was like, I'll drive. We'll get pizza. We'll hang out. It's like her and her mom. And I was like, all right, we're partying. We're going to all the bars. Me and you and your mom. You get 1 shot per bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, we get shots of like 1 per bar. We're going to like 3 bars. So we went.
Hey,
And this
trust
dude,
me on this.
yeah, I was like, no. I was like, you can if you want more than 1 shot, you can go grab yourself a cocktail, but we'll go hit a couple bars. And this dude had 200 lined up, and he was so hammered. He was so hammered. He kept trying to get me to go to the bathroom with him, and I was like, I don't want to go. He was like, I need you to go.
Wait, it was one of two things. He wanted you to do a line with him, or he was trying to get you to suck his cock.
I think it was cocaine. There was a lot of cocaine. I'm pretty sure because everyone was it was lit up. It was lit up, and that was it. It was Kid Rock's Honky Tonk.
Or you
I was
were
like,
gonna do a line with him, and he was just gonna pull his dick out, and you were gonna be like, "Trash can's over there."
Trash cans over there, bro. It was because he started the conversation with, "I didn't ever do this," which is how
Yeah,
I do
it's
cocaine
still
with
either way.
Everybody,
It's
'Cause
still either
people
way.
kept coming up to. They're like, "That guy's giving out cocaine," which doesn't happen, right? You don't go to a bar and the bartenders are they're just dumping the shots at this point because the bar's like closing. They can't give them away. So, like, it's not often that you walk into a bar where there's more vodka and cocaine than everybody can literally handle. And you're talking about 200 or 300 people.
It's all caused by one man.
200 or 300 people in there, and they're just like, we can't do it. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I don't want to be your friend. I should be your friend, but you're so drunk, dude. I don't want to be responsible. I was like, I already told these ladies I'd be responsible for them. So I paid the parking because they're like, we want to stay. I paid 4 hours more parking, and I came back, and they're like, "We want to go," and I was like, "Why? Like, there's all this free drugs and liquor," and they're like, "No, we're out. It's sloppy time." So we got pizza, and it was like the end of the night. But I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna hang out in this town for a little bit and see like how you walk into a bar and it's absolutely for no reason,
Just chaos.
absolute chaos. Which we like chaos, I guess.
So,
Yeah.
since we were talking about Kitchen Night Conspiracy,
Yeah.
that was June 25th, and the show was canceled.
All right, we didn't miss anything then.
Right, so this will be rescheduled. So we'll let you know
Hopefully,
if we don't forget again.
we will.
You rock and metal shows need to get the support back up.
Remember what was it like 2006 or 7, Greg, when the metal scene downtown was just ridiculous?
All Best and shit like that.
All of it. You could go to any bar downtown, and there was a fucking metal band in it playing
Right.
every night.
I can remember seeing Metal Mafia downtown.
Oh, like fucking 2-3 times a weekend.
Kitchen Night Conspiracy,
Yeah.
Mushroom Head.
Yep. Sleep. Fucking.
Y'all got. There's been a lot of canceled rock and metal, like because the Buzzbin closed also
Yeah.
in Akron, Canton. So if you're listening to this and you love rock and metal, go buy a ticket for somebody's show this
Right.
weekend.
Do it.
Yeah, or you're gonna. This is just how you get another country album. You guys want another country album? You come out and see some metal. Or I'm going on tour with Jesus. This will be my next single. I'm going on tour with Jesus.
I let him take the wheel.
I let
He
him
drove
take the
me
wheel.
straight into a tree.
Greg's gonna stab us.
Too late. I think
Well,
it's about that time.
unfortunately, my Subaru turns into a pumpkin at midnight.
That just goes back to the 3-cylinder Wonder Machine.
Got to give a shout out to GSA Auto for keeping my touring vehicle on the road while I travel across the country because the car's running good. It's silent. And when I bring it in, it never runs good. It's always like, kick it. It comes off the flatbed, and then, yeah. So I don't know. I hope you don't mind. I'm shouting you out because touring vehicles,
Yeah, I
They're
love
not
free
free.
publicity. I just don't do it myself.
Right.
right? No shameless
I
plugs.
send so many people to your shop.
Right.
Like, you call this motherfucker.
Yeah, touring
Here is
vehicles
his
are a
number.
thing. That's probably one of the biggest hurdles to being in a band. Is
Right,
like
it's
how are you
just-
going to get all of us to the same place at the same time in the same vehicle?
Right, with all our shit.
That's what makes it different. That's what I think is the toughest part about being in a rock or metal act versus if you're doing something that can be done like solo.
Where you just show up and you're like, I have my own microphone and stand. You have a PA.
Right.
Where can he plug his computer in? Like,
It's a little bit easier to tour than if you're like, you know what? All 6 of us brought full stacks.
right.
We all want a full stack. We all have vocal effects.
We got 2 trailers of shit.
We all have
Only one
girlfriends.
valid license.
You've got 30 minutes to accomplish this. Go. I'm like, oh, here we go. I hope I remember how to play the songs. Yeah, rock and metal shows are fun like that because everyone brings way too much gear and they play their songs way too fast.
Right. It's like, man, I didn't know we could play that song that fast. Yeah, it's usually 4 minutes. It's 2.5. Like,
Right now, we only got 30 minutes of set time because we blew one of the speakers during sound check. Caca! Oh, fuck. I'm doing it on 50%.
Extra fuzz. Fuck
Twice
yeah.
as fast, extra fuzz. Oh no! So yeah, I mean, and then everyone has a really good time, and you wake up the next day like, I need a job. What happened? That was ridiculous. So yeah, support the rock and metal scene.
Right.
For
Do
sure.
it. Do it. Just go on whatever streaming platform you like. Find John Dante's stuff. Turn your phone all the way down and just hit play. Just let it go all night while you're sleeping.
Try it. You never know.
He'll make like 2 cents.
I will.
Everybody listening right now does it.
I'll be able to afford to quit smoking.
Oh,
Thanks again for having me, guys.
absolutely.
No problem.
Anytime.
Thanks for listening to Chicken Shit and pairing us up with some Coheed.
Fucking A.
Come out on the 3rd or the 15th. Check John Dante and theinferno.com for dates.
Google that shit. All right, everybody. I'm Scotty. That's Greg. That's John.
Good night, y'all.
We will see you next time. Bye.